Oh, Grandma, it's nice to meet
We'll
you.
pretend you didn't say that.
Nice to meet y'all. Nice to meet you.
We'll pretend that you didn't say that. You can say it again.
No, I'm totally gonna say it again. Brento, I've never seen your face before. That's wild.
You muted Brenta in Discord.
Yeah, you're good. I hear him.
Yeah, I hear him too.
Why is he showing his muted in mine?
Maybe you have to unmute him
Oh.
yourself.
Oh, you have me muted, Freemz?
Yeah, probably listen to you go off on your crazy tangents because you're so wild.
Yeah, right.
Well, I think this is everybody for now. Someone else. He didn't really drop out. I was supposed to get a hold of him again earlier today, and I forgot. And he just committed something else. So, I'll let you guys introduce yourself. I'll just call you out and let you shout yourself out. Johnny, you can go first.
What is up, you guys? What's up, chat? My name's Johnny. I do politics, a little bit of philosophy, occasionally math and science here on Twitch. I usually am streaming in the politics tag, so you can catch me there. If we're doing something more general, sometimes I might pop into just chatting. Yeah, we've been doing the stream for about a year now. We've been steadily growing, and I'm super excited for 2020. I don't know about you.
Yeah, let's go Tulsi.
Woo.
Tulsi. Trending, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I am trending up. I do consider myself, like, I don't know what we were on earlier, but I do consider myself a common sense guy, you know, who is also kind of right-leaning, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I tend to, agree with what makes the most sense. You know? And I think, in order to get to a common sense level, you have to kind of, bring back your emotions, not really think too emotional, and just kind of objectively, view things. But that's my style. So, thank you. And my name is Zach, too, if anybody cares or wants to use that. So,
Would you rather call you Trending or Zach?
you can call me whatever you want. I really don't care. I don't have any preferred pronouns, I guess you could say.
If anyone does have a preferred pronoun, feel free to mention that.
Oh, for real? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I go by they, but I'm one of those people who never really mentions it. It's more of a close friends thing. They know me like that.
I typically try to use they just as a fun practice now. Speaking of that, Coop, when I was asking about you, I was using they them. That's who I'm missing, Coop. I forgot.
Yeah, cool. Let's get
Oh.
moving.
Coop de Joy, yeah, not Coop Show. Which either one of them we found. I love Coop Show too. Yeah, Coop de Joy will be here today. That's the plan. Hey, and Grimace, you can shout yourself out. Coop the dog.
My name is Al Grimace. I own a border collie. She's a sheep herding dog, and I train her on Twitch. Y'all can tune in anytime. I stream probably daily. You can check it out, and yeah, that's it. I have no political opinions. Should be a great stream.
No political opinion, all right?
Perfect, man.
And yeah, Brento.
Brento, I'm Brent. I go by Brento Box on Twitch, and I stream politics and try to catch up on news and follow along with the presidential election, which is sort of like the World Cup for me that just happens every 4 years. And I just keep track of everything and try and keep tabs on who's doing what and which way the country's gonna go.
Well, the World Cup does happen every 4 years, though, too. So
That's my point. That's my World Cup.
Okay, your World Cup.
Yeah, right.
I like that.
Both of them are my World Cup. I like the World Cup. Doing it now. I think before we get started. Can't type all night. You already had some
Like, you're depending on a teacher who's mainly going to teach you something that's going to be applicable to everyday life later down the road. Is that now an outdated? Is it the most inefficient way to acquire, positive knowledge for, you going forward in the future after maybe say like 5th grade or 8th grade? That was my, question. Is the way to look at the education system and going to school, is it now outdated with how accessible all the information is, to everybody? Because when you go to school, I mean, you might learn something. I mean, maybe, but I mean, you can't really streamline your learning process. You're at the mercy of somebody else teaching.
I'm super interested to answer this question right now.
Go for it.
All right.
Sick. Okay, so I am a huge proponent of the expansion of not only what it means to be a teacher, but also the expansion of trade-oriented schooling in our country. I personally went to school with a very large group of people who, rather than getting a core 4 degree, which allows you to go to university, they got the secondary high school diploma, which allows you to go straight into work after high school. It's still a diploma. It just doesn't qualify you for university for funding and everything in Louisiana. Those people were allowed to, because our school had a welding program, they were allowed to get welding certifications by the time they were 18. Something like that. Streamlining is the word of yours that I actually really caught on trending. The word streamlining is the opposite of what we should be doing in schools. We should be making it easier to become a teacher so that we can have more school programs that branch out from 8th grade onward and give you more options for what you want to do in your future.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I feel
So
like
wouldn't that be somewhat streamlining though too for your future? Because you're getting yourself into what you need to know.
I feel like the word streamlining implies that everyone takes the same path, and what I'm more talking about is having multiple paths. So
I'm just streamlining the way we intake our knowledge and the way we go about schooling. Like you say, I mean, get somebody into like a trade if they want to be a tradesman. Don't make them go take a geography course.
that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
What did you just say?
Because you're getting, you're at the mercy of somebody else teaching.
I'm super interested to answer this question right now.
Go for it.
All right.
Sick. Okay, so I am a huge proponent of the expansion of not only what it means to be a teacher, but also the expansion of trade-oriented schooling in our country. I personally went to school with a very large group of people who, rather than getting a core 4 degree, which allows you to go to university, they got the secondary high school diploma, which allows you to go straight into work after high school. It's still a diploma. It just doesn't qualify you for university for funding and everything in Louisiana. Those people were allowed to, because our school had a welding program, they were allowed to get welding certifications by the time they were 18. Something like that. Streamlining is the word of yours that I actually really caught on trending. The word streamlining is the opposite of what we should be doing in schools. We should be making it easier to become a teacher so that we can have more school programs that branch out from 8th grade onward and give you more options for what you want to do in your future.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I feel like
So wouldn't that be somewhat streamlining though too for your future? Because you're
What does trending say? I don't know.
like you're getting yourself into what you need to know. You know.
I feel like the word streamlining implies that everyone takes the same path, and what I'm more talking about is having multiple paths. So
Oh,
that,
I'll just be streamlining the way we intake our knowledge and the way we go
Oh.
about schooling. You know, like
yeah.
like you.
I don't know. I think that's what he's saying. The way we teach, schools teach knowledge isn't too. This is such a weird comment to make.
You say like yeah, I mean, get somebody into like a trade if they want to be a tradesman. Don't make them go take a geography course. You know,
That's
like,
exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Don't make them take a
Yeah,
geography
let's go.
course.
Should this be done?
I don't think they teach a geography course in high school. Complete list. Wish. What is social studies? Good to know where things are in the world. I don't know. Don't make them take a geography course. This is just like a stupid comment. I mean, I think everyone should take a geography course. Is it best? Like, people should know things about the world, not just what their job is. Let's see if you can.
Like, if you're in 8th grade, are you determining that you don't want to do something more advanced later in your life?
That's the funny thing is that we tend to cut off schooling after 18, don't we? I think if we made it more accessible for older people.
That's a good point, Grimmett.
Go back to school, then we.
You know, like
Yeah.
like you say, like yeah, I mean, get somebody into like a trade.
Like, if you're in 8th grade, are you determining that you don't want to do something more advanced later in your life?
That's the funny thing is that we tend to cut off schooling after 18.
Oh, I see. Thing should really be determining our future. Hey, Vote Democrat, how's it going? I don't know if you listen to this podcast. I'm critiquing it because there's a lot of like stupid comments in it, and I don't know. Should we really be determining our future in grade? Johnny says, no, we should allow for cooling to be resumed later. Democrats, of course. Are you talking about in the primary or in the general? Because the general's not happening yet. In the primary, I think I'm leaning more in. Who are you voting for? Biden? So can you give me an argument for Biden? Because I don't know any good arguments for Biden, other than like, no, I don't really know any good arguments for Biden.
Don't we? I think if we made it more accessible for older people to go back to school, then we wouldn't have so much pressure on ourselves to decide what.
He has the best chance to beat Trump. Is that true? Head-to-head matchups, Trump. Yeah, he looks pretty good. 30. Well, he has more of a range though. Sanders and Warren run pretty close to Biden though. I think that he has probably more of a chance because he's the leading. So I think that they all have a really good chance to beat Trump. Do what Real Clear Politics says. Trump versus Warren. Biden's 52 to 48 on Emerson. Oh, okay, so average is 48 to 44. Trump versus Warren. Oh, it's pretty tight on Warren. Trump Sanders. Sanders beats him by 2 points, 2.5. Trump Harris. Harris is out of the race now, right? Really? Harris beat him by 6 points. Wow. I wonder how much this will change. Going back.
Going to do forever at 18, and that's a big part of universal education.
Oh, so you're talking about expanding it to like later years, like past 12 years.
Definitely. If you want to go into tradesman when you're 18, that's fantastic. If you find a real like love for programming by the time you're 29, maybe you should be able to go back to school and do that.
This is just a great comment. If you find you like a new thing, you should be allowed or able to go back to school for it. I'm just kind of summarizing what they're saying. I don't know if it's like maybe I should like put in red like my opinions on it. Like I put in red like here. This is a stupid comment.
Yeah, I definitely. Oh, go ahead, Brenda.
No, I mean that makes sense. Are you kind of like arguing for free education, like free college?
College is such a dirty word. Free college is such a dirty word because it implies that we give everybody the same type of degree, and everybody has to take all these, as I'm sure some of you might agree, there are certain types of maths that aren't necessary. There are even certain types of humanities that aren't entirely.
This is a good print box. Do you mean free college? Not college per se.
Entirely necessary. Making degrees more compartmentalized and making them more skill-based, I think, is the way to get around having a bloated university system.
Okay, yeah, right.
I
So
don't have
like if you can just if everyone gets college for free, and that means there's guaranteed money for colleges, that will actually just blow up. There will just be like basically diploma factories, right? And they'll just push people through. And
Okay,
degrees, and
this is where the comments get stupider. Print box. If college is free, then colleges will become diploma factories. Now this is really a problem. Okay. Let's put it in red again. This is also good comment. Right. First. I don't think. Okay, what's the difference between valid and sound? Having a sound basis or logical region of approaching sound. The sound argument that is valid whose premises the premises are true and the conclusion necessarily follows, making the conclusion as well. So I don't think that this is sound. Is a sound argument. What makes this true? If college is free, then colleges become diploma factories. This is completely false. Like, college in its current state incentivizes diploma factories because consumers, i.e. students, need to get their money. If college is free, there's no incentive to do that. Hot dang, there's a lot of right-wing opinions on the table. They all have irrefutable claims in the title, very explicitly stated. They wouldn't want anyone to feel confused and left out. Simple and very inclusive. Did you watch this debate? Yeah, this is this debate is kind of ridiculous. I'm critiquing this debate, and I agree there are a lot of right-wing opinions here. Consumers need students need to get their money's worth. If college is free, colleges become diploma factories. This is just not true. If college is free, there's no incentive to give a diploma. If college is free, there is no incentive to give out a diploma to anyone unless they have earned it. Period. Okay.
Less and less.
So I kind of argue that what we have right now are basically diploma factories. We just pay a lot of money for them.
He's exactly right. We're just paying money for diploma
I think that
factories.
college in general, these degrees, they're not necessarily that important.
I don't agree that most colleges are diploma factories. I don't know how many of these people went to college. Can I switch back to black? Freemz. Colleges are currently diploma factories. Is this true? On what basis? How many participants actually have a college degree?
But they're giant shit tests. Like it's like,
Yeah.
are you capable of getting a degree? Are you capable of going to class? Are you capable of dedicating yourself to a certain subject? And
To me, it sounds like Grimace here has gone to college. Alright, place bets. Place your bets. I say. Grimace. Brent looks like he's gone to college, but I don't know. I know Johnny has gone to college a little bit, but doesn't have a degree. I think Grimace has a good degree. I don't know about the others. I lean degrees. Otherwise, I don't know if that's true. Maybe they did it.
So I feel like
However, I'm
Okay.
so sorry to interrupt you. However, the problem with that is that so many people are going to school and going to college at the same time that people are getting twice the shit test. People are killing themselves, just absolutely working themselves to the bone, trying to get these degrees and trying to pay for them. And it's not being shown in their resume. When someone looks at a resume and sees that, for instance, I've been in the service industry for 7 years almost, that dedication that I have committed to paying my way and being an independent person doesn't, like, that was a shit test for me. And that doesn't show up the same way that a college degree does, but it was basically about the same amount of work. It's just nobody was paying for me.
I disagree. So, okay, so Grimace says we should revise or expand on our understanding of the term free. There's nothing free about it. Right. I think the word free just means like free to the consumer, right? Like there's no specified cost to the individual. We're paying through it in taxes, sure, but you know, the tax system is gonna the idea is that the tax system would even it out. All right, so Grimace says college is basically a big test, and thus so looks good on resumes. Johnny says yes, but people also work and go to school, but there are individuals who are working and going to maintain. So why and for them the work is also a big test, and this doesn't look as good on a resume. Okay, so here's my comments. Oh, we're getting like Christmassy. I don't like this green actually. Let's go with that won't shut up. Purple. Yeah, these colors are weird. I disagree. Work doesn't look the same on a resume, but it still looks quite good to a potential employer. As if you have no work experience. This looks quite. This doesn't look great. Depending on the employer. I think in this current state, you really need work experience and a degree. I think that's where most
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. Great point. It's just like, what do you value more, real world reps or collegiate reps? You know what I'm saying?
the thing is you are going to have to change society's view on things because there's a reason right now. And I think the statistic is that people with a degree are more likely to make like $15,000 to $20,000 more a year. And that's because the way society looks at a degree. Oh my god, I forgot about somebody.
So, it's an interesting remark. Right? People with degrees are likely to make 15 to 20K more than those without. And they sure, but we understand the reason why.
Also, hello, Coop.
Hey, Coop.
Yo, Coop, my man.
Oh, Coop.
You're Mr. Rick Scott.
Oh no.
I just know we're not gonna get into it today. I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, in no way am I devaluing an education. I just want to, get to an education a lot more efficiently.
Yeah,
So
I'm
no way, saying don't get an education.
How do you guys feel about the idea, like, there's other countries that after their, let's say, middle school, 8th grade, they go into a more specific high school education directed towards something?
After 8th grade?
Yeah, well,
Yeah. How do special school
not technically 8th grade, however they have their school structure to be like equivalent to our 8th grade. Like,
Yeah, I talked to a guy from Czech Republic, and he went through that. You basically take a test in like 7th grade, and if you pass that test, then you have the option to go on the university track. Whereas if you do not pass that, you'll go in more of a vocationally based track.
Mhm.
I don't know if there are any backup programs for that. I mean, certainly, some people are going to have some problems if there's, who knows what's happening in your life and stuff right now. But if there's a way to get back on the track, that would be fine. But for me, it's just streamlining the whole the education system right now. I mean, we're not learning like there's no reason kids shouldn't know how to do databases and Excel and Word and stuff.
Right.
That should be done in high school.
I think they're actually learning that in like grade school now. I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
right.
programming. They're learning all that in grade school at this point.
But that's not standardized though. That's not standardized state to state, let alone county to county in Louisiana.
Sure.
Parish to parish.
say, like,
okay, so Coop is no reason kids shouldn't learn more database and program. All some schools do. Johnny. Yes, but this isn't standardized across states or counties. This is interesting because it sounds like an argument for more standardized schooling across countries. I know, but much like welfare, the Nordic system uses a vehemently different form of welfare. It is more instrumental and not solely as a safety net. Nothing like the libertarian Christian democratic denominations of that term. Many people use equivocations to obfuscate and mislead. I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. The Nordic system uses a vehemently different form of welfare. It's more instrumental and not solely used as a social safety net. I don't know anything about the Nordic system. If you could say something about it, like how is it different? That would be interesting to me. I don't want to look it up right now, but maybe I'll look it up later. Many people use equivocations to obfuscate and mislead. Oh, like you're saying obfuscate and mislead about different social systems? Like how they like equivocating like the Nordic system to like let's say the US system or something like that. I think that's definitely true. There's a lot of equivocation.
where
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
alligator school.
know if this is the same everywhere.
And part of it is that like it's a very democratic. I mean, it's a very like governmental, like bureaucratic sort of thing, like how the safety net works in any given society. So it's really hard for someone to learn about their own, let alone multiple people's. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously, like I think the Danish system, the income tax is huge, right? Like Holland, income tax. Yeah, the lowest bracket in Holland is 36%. So no matter what you're working 30. You're paying 30% taxes. Let's just look up European income tax rates. Top income tax rates or just tax rate? Let's just look at tax rates. Here we go. It's hard to read on this graph. Employee, employer, tax wedge. Obviously, these are just really big tax. Oh, Denmark. That's the income tax I was looking for. Tax rate. 55% income tax in Denmark. So, right, when you say free, you're not remembering this, but what you get for it might end up compensating. Depends on how you want to think about it. But it should be more balancing across the board too.
But when I went to school, and still the same now, you can actually start going to vocational school for half a day in high school, like starting like your freshman year, and actually take you there and bring you back.
Oh wow.
Yeah, some schools did offer that, and I honestly would like to see that. I mean, I do think, I think most people could agree with probably. I mean, well, if anyone gone to community college, I went to university to start, and then I screwed up, and then I went back later and went to community college. And oh my god, has anyone gone? And I honestly would like to see that. I mean, I do think, I think most people could agree with probably. I mean, well, if anyone gone to community college, I went to university to start, and then I screwed up, and then I went back.
Brent went to community college.
And oh my god, was that?
I'll just put this in purple again. Brent box 1, 2, community.
Just it was easier in high school. There was just no. Yeah. It's just college just seems like there's such a waste of 2 years there.
Yeah. Except for that degree can help you earn money. I mean,
there you go. I mean,
right.
You're not wrong.
And you
Two-year college seems like it can be a waste of money. I don't think this is true. I think everyone learns skills in college, and it's hard to put a value on that.
you have to change society before you even worry about changing the education system, or vice versa. But no matter what society's views on it has to be changed.
Yeah, I think there's something distinctly un-American about tracking students, like especially in like 7th grade.
You guys want to hear the skeptic commie in me? I feel like it was created to help set class divide.
Freemz. College is created to set class divides. Can't tell if serious.
That's why college is so expensive, and rich people can go to college way easier than poor people.
Yep.
And they can
that's why they started fraternities, is so that once the poor people started getting to go to college, they still couldn't be part of the club.
And they can afford to.
I like this statement though. Wait, let's finish this. The poor can't afford school. Fraternities to not be poor into the club. I think we should read into that. I think we should read into this more, thinking white people not allowing black people into their clubs. I think this is how we should really
screw up over and over and over again. Like, poor people don't have the option to screw up as many times.
So you think it was a conscious thing? You think that's why it was done this way, or you just think it's like a function? I think it's like a function of how people behave.
I mean, we started with a private system, right? And it was only available to the rich. That's back in the 19th century, right?
Sure.
And then we opened the public system, and we tried to open it up to everybody. And I think it was a good faith effort. I agree with you, bro. I think it was probably a good faith effort to do that.
Sure.
Now, are there probably some meritocracies out there who want some nice, clean, well?
So, I mean, Brent's question is there. The box is this by design or by sure of
healthy Illuminati population of the world. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
It's fun to think about Freemz. I'm not knocking it.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've had conversation with plenty of people because it's fun. Yeah, but I don't know.
Yep, and there's plenty of opportunity to get an education as long as you're willing to take on a huge amount of debt.
yeah, I mean, there's opportunity, but like I said before, there's not as much opportunity to fuck up.
Well, let's see. Okay, no matter what side of the aisle are, could you all agree that if we're going to have a Fannie Mae and a Freddie Mac to bail out banks and financial institutions, couldn't we at least have a national debt-free student loan program? I mean,
if we can bail out banks, why can't we bail out our people who are in student debt?
would that be so hard?
Yeah. Wait, what's
Is
that? Is that free student loan program?
Like you would get 0% debt loans.
Oh, no interest.
You mean interest?
No interest. Debt. I think this is fine, but I don't think this necessarily goes far enough. Does this go far enough?
Zero interest.
Zero,
Yeah,
yeah,
zero
no,
interest.
that
On
sounds
government student loans, for sure.
Yeah, they
absolutely.
would still repay it. All the college lobby would still be happy because they're getting all their students to all their silly degrees they have to offer. And that's a whole other story. Is that, I don't know, that's one of my big soapboxes. Like we can go to any school and look at their list of degrees, and only a quarter over to get your job. So that's a whole other issue. But as far as the fact that we have to pay interest on debt to be a better workforce in our country is that it doesn't make any sense.
Going a little farther into that, there is some sort of a chance that people will start to sort of waste that opportunity. Like they'll get the opportunity to have free college and they'll find to waste it. I think it would be good to put some pitfalls in there that say if you don't try hard enough, have some gauges for that. If you
I don't like this. Funny. If you're wasting your time in college, that interest should be able to come back and bite you.
you don't use your degree in a productive way, then maybe some of the loans could have some amount of interest, because what you're supposed to be paying as interest is your productivity of the system.
Yeah, okay, so this is absurd. Punishing students in this way is relatively vindictive. And likely wouldn't actually increase likelihood of success. While writing, and it's a bit too much to get into, you'd have to consider each nation holistically and understand the culture that birthed these systems. I wonder if anyone enjoys history, macroeconomics, and how culture shapes politics, and how it gets used and abused in modern political disclosure, and through new forms of sociological propaganda. I mean, it sounds like a good, at least it's a clear statement. So don't worry about your quality of writing. Actually, your quality of writing is like way better than, I would say, 99% of people on Twitch. So you're doing good so far. Yeah, I think that's the hard part about it, is because like it's so hard to even understand the details of your own culture. So to be able to compare cross-culturally, that's why people equivocate and speak in such generalities, right? And it's why like each culture thinks like this is the only way to do things. And when a culture learns about another culture, they find out, oh, their laws are different, their tax system is different, their social network is different, and that's when you learn more details. it can be shown that clawback interest helped the likelihood of success, then maybe there's an argument here. But otherwise, this is just punishing someone who now definitely doesn't have a job. Punishing someone financially. Good luck not defaulting on that.
Post degree.
Also, colleges shouldn't cost as much as they do, but that's a whole other, argument.
There's totally a straight line. Like honestly, like when we talk about healthcare and how expensive that is, that's actually on a straight line trajectory since the 70s. You know, that is a straight line of just it's faster than inflation, but it's been growing that fast. Now, college on the other hand, yeah, there we're seeing a little more of a parabolic shape to the cost of college, and that's an issue.
I also always go to the whole. They already pay for 12 years of school. What's 4 more years? But especially when not everyone's going to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, that's the whole thing I'm on right now. Like I'm a centrist. Okay, my goal is these issues like this one, that there's no reason that Democrats and Republicans can't come together. You know, because we are not going to win in democracy if they let us push us around in stupid partisan shit like they do.
Okay, I just like this. Cool. There reason Republicans come together on these issues. And I would say, have you seen our Republican Party? Base Liberty. I am because I'm writing my own responses, so my responses are in red. So if I'm just writing, I'm trying to summarize what was just said so I can respond to it. Right? If I just say things, then I'll just say things. But you know, if there's otherwise, like, maybe I can come back to this later and I can talk about this. I could put in timestamps, but I mean, timestamps are just gonna be weird. I don't know why it feels creepy to you, but
yeah. And these
feels creepy to you. That's fine.
Voters on both sides are going to get behind if we want to get anything done.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, that's
we gotta get. I feel like you gotta get half
fighting
the.
on stupid shit so easily, and then nothing gets done.
We have a hard time
There's
getting
we all agree on.
the citizens to agree.
Wait, what are we all agreeing on? That college should be free?
No.
Okay.
The college cost, the college tuition on a parabolic curve over the last 30 years or so of cost needs to be
Maybe quotes, not summaries. I mean, that would just be. You think I'm gonna transcribe a whole fucking debate? Like, yeah, that's not happening. Oh, I'm gonna summarize. Besides, like, a summary isn't bad because it gives insight into the way that I'm perceiving what they just said, right? So like, if someone says something, you know, you're gonna take in what's said, but you're gonna process it, right? So this is how I'm processing. I could just record and respond instead of type anything. Yeah, but somehow typing is like helping me collect my thoughts on it and be more clear. Besides, like, I might want to go back to this. Maybe one of these people want to talk about my thoughts on this, so maybe we'll come back to that, you know. Who knows? You know, having something written is not bad. Besides, I've written a decent amount. Why don't I use dark mode? Oh, good call. Dark mode?
I'm arguing college should be free.
Like that?
I don't see why not. I mean, it only helps the economy.
Because fiscal responsibility in America only matters when you're blowing people up, or only doesn't
Someone
matter.
actually brought up on my stream today. We were talking back and forth about the military budget, which it happens a lot, and we were saying that it costs so much to have all these bases, it costs so much to have so much military presence, and we were thinking of ways that we could decrease that cost. I actually really think. I lost my train of thought for a second. I actually really think that if we continue, because a denouncer in the chat did come in and he was like, well, war is the biggest bringer of technology. Generally, it's the fastest way that we get to new technology. It's one of the ways that we stay safe as a planet. You know, America has to be a superpower. And my disagreement with that comes where we
Are
continue to
these
have
power
technology,
up
continue
all?
to spend less and less on public education. And then over the course of the next 2 to 3 generations,
Type
we have a
in
weakened
chat
populace
and it'll go
that will
dark.
not be able to support such a bloated.
Oh yeah. Wait, what? I'm confused. If I type dark mode like that, I think it just says that. I don't know what you're saying.
Military budget because we won't be educated.
Yeah, I mean, sure, right? Like if the American people are
Do I actually have to do this? Oh, now it's not dark mode. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I just turned it on and off. But like, are you saying you want the chat to be white like this? I don't know what you're saying. Oh, it is cool. It's definitely cool. Fire! You have the frame thing on light mode. This isn't what I'm typing. This is on Word. I can't type dark mode on Word. I have no idea who you're talking about, dude.
educated or incapable of, you know, taking care of themselves or running the country fails, period. Like, not just the military, we're just done, right? So,
Such a bloated military budget because we won't be educated.
yeah, I mean, sure, right? Like,
Okay. Yeah, I just put it on theater mode.
You know, taking care of themselves or running the country fails, period. Like, not just the military, we're just done, right? So,
But I think we already we've started NASA.
You go like this.
I personally think that NASA can fill any of the shortcomings of innovation that come from the military. That's my personal view. If we're going to do that, I'd rather go straight to the science, rather than around the bombs.
Exactly. It may not be as fast as a big military race because everybody's trying to build the best missile, but fast isn't always better.
Okay, I'm
How do you
confused,
feel
but
about a mandatory military?
I want to
Personally,
listen
I think
to this. Hold
NASA
on. I missed it.
The bloated military budget because and then over the course of the next 2 to 3 generations, we have a weakened populace that will not be able to support such a bloated military budget because we won't be educated.
Johnny says.
I mean, sure, right? Like, if the American people are uneducated or incapable of, you know, taking care of themselves or running the country fails, period. Like, not just the military, we're just done, right? So,
But I think we've started NASA back up, and if we, I personally, I think that NASA can fill any of the shortcomings of innovation that come from the military. That's my personal view. If we're going to do that, I'd rather go straight to the science, rather than around the bombs.
Exactly. It may not be as fast as a big military race because everybody's trying to build the best missile, but fast isn't always better.
How do you people feel about a mandatory military service?
Ooh, I like that question.
Fuck no.
Fuck no, I mean, well, I'm just
I
asking.
don't know. I think it actually kind of has some benefits. I'm not sure. I wouldn't say necessarily military service, but like a public service. I actually think it's something that I think that some countries do that is actually beneficial. And like, you would, even if it's not necessarily military, you would basically it would sort of be like, I thought about it this way, and this is the way I've heard some people sort of say it. I think Pete Buttigieg wants this too. Is that like it would be a public service, and you would go into something like maybe like a trade. Maybe you would work on like an electrical grid, or you would be a plumber, something like that. Some sort of trade that is functional and that you sort of do in service to the country, and it puts you on a track, and then you know, like maybe you can pick, I don't know. It's very nebulous at this point. But
the law nerd in me wants to argue whether or not mandatory service to your country constitutes liberty, but the solution oriented.
Johnny says. Would that even be legal? Sounds like it's changing on our freedoms. Okay. Good question or discussion. But really sounds absurd. That we should Vid. Maybe I should expand on that.
It's a person in me really doesn't want to argue that. Like, it's just, it would objectively work.
We're talking like 2 years mandatory active duty, like combat. No, I'm just kidding.
Military service. I just look at it like, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I just look at a mandatory military service as just more government regulation of your life, right?
I agree.
Right.
Like, we're gonna allow them to regulate our life, what we do for a couple years now. And
I don't like the idea.
gun regulation. You gotta be anti-mandatory.
Hold statement. Trending is good. If this sounds like more government. Wow. Yeah, I know that feeling. Coffee is usually pretty helpful. Something more government regulation in our lives. If you're anti-gun regulation, you better be against this. I think that's just like an awesome statement. Super clear and awesome to hear someone on the right saying that. I'm almost to the part where they start saying some really stupid stuff. But I wanted to start from the beginning, even though I've been streaming. Even though this is taking me longer to go through it. I'm watching at double speed, so I'm kind of actually going through it about the same speed as normal. But there's a lot of dumb statements that are about to come up. So yeah, I don't know where it goes because it's long. Let's see. I remember I just started being like, what the fuck are they saying? I jumped ahead 10 minutes.
Yeah, I agree.
By the way, I just put in the chat there that link. That's the U.S. Code that was passed in '86, the one that required all emergency rooms to take a patient, whether they have insurance or can pay for it or not.
Oh yeah, they're talking about like
If we had everybody getting together and doing that and having that education, I think it would be
illegal immigrants and stuff like this.
And even though I understand why people come into this country illegally, because some people can't afford,
Illegal immigrants pay more in taxes.
sharing the same speed because
They cover a wide variety of topics, so I was pretty happy with.
I don't like the idea of where we have two different sides.
Are they six centrists? More or less. I think they all lean center right, except for Coop, who seems to be more libertarian. He claims to be a centrist, but I think he's more. It's hard to put him on the scale. He seems to be a little bit more libertarian, but more like a sensible libertarian, rather than like an extreme libertarian. Johnny sits pretty in the middle. Trending sits center right, or yeah, right of center. Grimace seems to. These two actually seem slightly left of center, and Brent is definitely center right. Yeah, I know. Do you watch Johnny?
Ship back and forth and then having someone control something that I have to do for like 2 years. I don't like the idea of that. But
listen, all of you assholes registered for the draft. I don't know why you guys are doing that.
yeah, there's not gonna be a draft. If there's ever a draft, that political party won't get elected for years. But they won't do it.
Like, if they're desperate enough to take me
Only
and I really need to serve my country, heck yeah, I'll go pick up a gun and serve my country. But you're right, that mandatory military service is really what I have a problem with when we get into talks about what is liberty, what is the ability to choose what you do as a person, what do we as Americans want our philosophy to be as far as whether or not we should have to serve those around us. And honestly, there's someone in my chat who is very active and very intelligent, but his name is Pooping Out Loud, and he wrote this really
Sounds like an intelligent name.
He's a very intelligent person.
Wow, thanks for that.
And
No comment.
he wrote this really
Thank you
interesting
so much.
three-paragraph treatise in my Discord the other day on why he believes America was meant by the founders to be a socialist
You're a
country.
good faith, honest right winger. That's good. As long as you argue in good faith, then I don't mind people on the right. But there's a lot of people on the right who don't argue in good faith, and that just annoys the heck out of me. Alright, thank you for that. I'll keep that in mind.
But yeah, if you view America as a fundamentally socialist country, I don't see why you have a problem with mandatory service in some way.
Whenever I was
I'd love
18,
to
I
hear
got
his thesis.
whenever I was 18, I got arrested and had to work for the blood job for a month. Does that count?
Yeah,
No, I'm just
totally.
kidding. Sorry. I got
No,
caught.
probably doesn't count there.
I mean, if you had 2 years and you said, okay, it was like a GI Bill type deal, and you could say, but you don't have to. We're not shipping you off to Afghanistan. Maybe instead you were going to help repair bridges for 2 years or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
And then, then we, that's how we knock out that problem. But I've got to agree. I think there's a few of us who kind of flirt with the anarchic side and.
Group says. Maybe if service wasn't active duty, maybe pretty judge. Domestic service like building. Who are you voting for? In the primary? I like Warren the best, but then Bernie and then Biden. In the general, I'll just vote for Democrats. Still, interesting. What unique thing do I like about Warren? I have loved Warren since she's been in the Senate for a long time. She is like awesome in the Senate. She's a super strong woman. I think that she has the best chance of actually winning, despite the polling, because I think that she can win the women's vote. She can win the left vote. I'm from New Jersey. So I think she can win the female vote, and I think she can win the left vote. And I think that her policies are basically, I don't want to say Bernie light, but they're kind of like Bernie light, where she is almost has the same policies as Bernie, except she's ever so slightly center from him. So basically, I like everything I like about Warren, I like about Bernie, and vice versa. Except I think I probably more than center left, but I am more conscious of the fact that you need to get things done in politics, and that it's not like a smooth path necessarily. Why? Sorry. Hey dude, how's it going?
Good.
What movie are you watching?
Captain Marvel,
Nice.
because I started renting Disney Plus.
Oh no. I think you made a mistake.
Whatever. I mean, I was looking for certain movies that were taken away from Netflix and put on there, so.
It was Captain Marvel, yikers.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm just watching this podcast.
The Simpsons is on Disney Plus.
Simpsons?
Simpsons. The Simpsons.
The Joker movie? The new Joker movie? I didn't watch it.
Oh, I don't know what that is. Isn't Joker DC, not Marvel?
I wouldn't know. I don't like superheroes. Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a drink. What does post royale mean? Post royale is after the Raj Royale, so apparently they do this podcast after the Raj Royale.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to people on Twitch.
Oh. You want to play the league?
Can you like, if you want to play one game, I'm gonna do a little bit more of this.
Okay, what are you doing?
Just critiquing this podcast.
Oh.
Using head and shoulders every day. It's like great offense for my legs.
What am I?
And that it's kind of a we want to be as free as possible, right? So there could be issues too. I mean, there are definitely solutions that could involve the government could be involved in it. But I mean, the issues that I most want to look at are
What
the issues
basics
that
did they? What basic topics did they cover? Was it immigration? Yeah. I didn't get very far in it, and then I basically got to like 50 minutes, and then I was like, okay, I gotta just critique this because it just happened yesterday, and there's like a lot of things that I agreed with. Actually, no, there's not a lot of things I agreed with, and I thought that all these people were in way too much agreement, and for you to have like a round table and you're all just like agreeing with each other, not a lot of pushback. It's kind of just like, and I don't know. There needs to be a lot more pushback against each other. And they're not exactly exploring these ideas in too much depth.
Well, like, what do you mean? Where's some examples of that?
Well, it's like I said, I mean, like I was saying earlier, things.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's because they're all center.
Mainframe macro bailout or banks, right? So banks can do whatever they want and they don't have to worry about it. If
Right.
they ever fuck up, they're taken care of, right? Where the regular American people, they don't have that problem. The way that we were talking about college earlier, they get their money and
Yeah, I think that would be good. It's hard to find people on the right, I think, that are decent debaters, because a lot of people on the right don't necessarily like speak in good faith, and then when they do, I don't know. I think it's hard to find people on the right. It's easier to find people in the center and on the left than debaters on the right.
the government to make sure we're giving out Pell Grants to make sure they get more customers. Where we just passed the new bill today or yesterday, was it, the new bill that was signed that makes it easier to fill out loan sheets now for getting college loans, so we help them get more business that way. So if we're going to fund a business, shouldn't we get some of that? I mean, yesterday we just gave them a ton more money to the college system in this country, which is a capitalist institution, right? So why are we getting nothing back from that? Why are the representatives of democracy not making a deal to trump that one up? There's a bunch of different issues. I mean, personally, healthcare is a system where it doesn't apply to the rules of capitalism, so I think we have to come to a capital.
I think this is a good statement. Cool. The 6 have been nice to you. These 6? I think these guys are acting in good faith. I think everyone here is acting in good faith, and that's one thing I appreciate about this debate. Yeah. Healthcare doesn't obey capitalistic rules because when someone gets sick, they need the help no matter what. So supply demand alters. And that's a really powerful point that maybe I should comment on that. This is a really powerful point, not understood by many.
Because demand is steady, right? I mean, sure, there's demand for plastic surgery, sure, there's demand for specialized things, but mainly if you're sick, if you break your arm, you need a doctor to help you get back together, etc., right? And And so in that situation, I would like to see, somebody we have to come up with a different than capitalist solution for that, because capitalism has not addressed it yet.
Sure. Yeah, so I see like a need for socialized healthcare, and I'm coming around. I'm understanding like, yeah, it seems like it would have a good benefit. It seems like it would solve all the problems that we're having because from what I'm understanding, actually, even though we do have like great healthcare, we do it. I know it's not perfect. Doesn't have access.
If you can get it, sure.
If you can get it, it's real good. So we could have like socialized healthcare. But so along this idea of socialized healthcare is that like we as Americans will be paying into it.
Do you know gorillas can get vitiligo? Are you gonna make a joke about like all of these people?
From our money and our labor, and you can say, well, rich people will be paying into it. We'll tax the rich; they'll pay more. Okay, sure, right, that's true. But then it's like, okay, so we as Americans are paying into it, and so we benefit from it. Now, it's an issue that pretty much belongs to like the Democrats on the left that they really want to push socialized healthcare, right? But like in the first Democratic debate, they said like, would everybody raise your hand here if you would give free healthcare to illegal immigrants? And everyone on stage raised their hand. And it's like, okay, so it seems.
Okay, wait, hold on. We gotta back up a second on this. Okay. Friend box. Oh yeah, I can raise the line, sure.
Like the borders,
is that better?
Willing to like socialized healthcare, right? Into it, so we benefit in our labor, and you can say, well, rich people will be paying into it. So along this idea of socialized healthcare is that like it would solve all the problems that we're having because from what I understand, a need for socialized healthcare. And I'm coming around. I'm understanding like, yeah, it seems like it would have a good benefit. It seems like it would solve all the problems that we're having because
I'm too quiet. Okay. This and this. Is that better? If I sit closer to a mic. If I do like that. Good? Okay.
From what I'm understanding, actually, even though we do have like great healthcare, we do it. I know it's not perfect. Doesn't have access.
If you can get it, sure.
If you can get it, it's real good. So we could have like socialized healthcare. But so along this idea of socialized healthcare is that like we as Americans will be paying into it from our money and our labor. And you can say, well, rich people will be paying into it. We'll tax the rich; they'll pay more. Okay, sure, right, it's true. But then it's like, okay, so we as Americans are paying into it, and so we.
Okay, so he says, we have great healthcare if you can afford it. So I'm starting to understand why socialized healthcare is important.
Benefit from it. Now it's an issue that pretty much belongs to like the Democrats on the left that they really want to push socialized healthcare, right? But like in the first Democratic debate, they said like, would everybody?
Okay, he says this interesting statement. He says, "This are my parents Democrats? I live with my stepdad and my mom, and my stepdad is technically Republican, but I don't know. He doesn't. Neither of them are very political at all. So, I guess I would say that my mom is a Democrat, but they're relatively like only in the weakest sense. Like they're both very apolitical. This is an issue that is owned by the Democrats and the left. They're gonna kick you out of the basement when they find their far left. Yeah, probably not. Okay. So what I have to say about this? This is an issue that is owned by the Democrats. Isn't this remarkable? This guy is on the right. Says he's starting to understand the need for socialized healthcare. And says that what kind of work do I do? I right now I'm kind of in between jobs. I'm doing some tutoring on the side and kind of looking for more work. Do some programming, some like data management stuff. I'm into politics though, so Is he starting to understand the need for socialized healthcare? Hearing of what? I have a degree in math, so I mostly tutor mathematics. I have a master's in math. Is he starting to understand the need for a Democrat issue? Why isn't this a Republican? You ever thought learning a trade? I have thought about learning a trade. It's cool that you're a welder. I've done some welding like in high school. Welding was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not sure I can believe anything in particular, but yeah, welding is pretty cool. Uh, seems like a good trade. So, I thought about learning some more like bartending and stuff like that, but that's kind of weird. Union welder, yeah, unions, especially depending on where you are, unions are pretty powerful. And I'm as far as I'm aware, the union dues are like for what you get are worthwhile.
Raise your hand here if you would give free healthcare to illegal immigrants, and everyone on stage raised their hand. And it's like, okay, so it seems like the borders of where they're willing to like extend who Americans are going to pay for the healthcare for.
Oh, you're in California. That's cool. $35 an hour welding in California. That's a good deal. $20 a month dues. Yeah, that sounds great. Less than an hour of work. Get your dues. Cali desert welding. Hey man, they need a lot of welding in the California desert, and the deserts are big. I have no idea what he does. I'll take his word for it for now. I mean, yeah, seems fine to me. Um, so then Brent says, uh, on the debate stage, on the Democratic debate stage, trolls do some weird stuff pretending to be made up people. Yeah, that is weird. What is a conveyor system? On the Democratic debate stage, every candidate said that their socialized healthcare would include illegal immigrants. I think I have a problem with this.
Don't exist. And so it seems like that makes me like, okay, wait, so we're just paying for everyone's healthcare, not just Americans?
We're now paying. This says we're now paying for everyone's healthcare, not just Americans. No, this is the first time I've done this, but it's kind of fun. I listen to a lot of podcasts and a lot of debates, and it's something I kind of meant to do, but this one seems like a good one to do it for. Everybody's a lineman out here. What is a lineman? Like a lineman for a factory? Like working on the line? 45 an hour is really good. 12 hours a day, 7 days a week? That's insane. I honestly don't like Joe Rogan's podcast very much. I've listened to a decent amount of them, but I kind of stopped listening to them because they were kind of, he just like interviews random people and doesn't give enough pushback sometimes, and it's just kind of like power lines laying post. That's cool. He does sometimes talk over the guest. Sometimes he does a good interview, but most of the time, I don't know. We're now just paying for everyone's healthcare, not just Americans.
No, give me a call when you're done.
Okay, dude. Okay. I don't like the UFC either, yeah. We're not paying for everyone's. Okay. I mean, how many people does this really affect? And shouldn't we pay for others' healthcare? It's the right thing to do, right? Looking at you, Christians. Why shouldn't we pay? John Jones? I don't know who John Jones is. That's a really cool.
Sorry, what does the actual complaint look like? Like, you think like hospitals will should turn away illegal immigrants?
Yeah, that's a great point. What is your actual point? Should hospitals turn away legal immigrants?
Anyways, right?
No. Well, no. See, that's true too. But it seems like if the argument is that Americans should pay for socialized healthcare because it's good for all Americans and it's good for America as a whole, but then you say like, oh, but even people who aren't Americans come to the country get free healthcare. That seems like it would be a limitless draw on the resources.
Okay, this is just stupid. This is where it gets really stupid. Our box. Conservative books. I couldn't name anything that fell under that classification, but like anything are you thinking of in particular? I don't really know what you mean. No. Are you thinking of a particular book? And that's the problem. But this seems like it would our anyone. Okay. This is just utterly stupid. In what way is this limitless? Do you think everyone is going to come this or we have the time? Obviously. So a lot of people come, perhaps, but they might stay too and become citizens, as Johnny, as or will say shortly.
I want to address that, and then I want to circle back really quick to something Coop and I were talking about earlier that addresses both the topics that we just went over. So if you were to say that a person is coming into a clinic and they are an illegal immigrant and they are having a very serious health
Isn't this affordable too? Isn't this probably affordable as well and creates jobs? Jobs are good, right? I used to play Overwatch. I haven't played it in a long time. Definitely like 5, 6 months. But I kind of switched up a lot with my Overwatch characters. So I'd probably say I was like best at soldier maybe, but I would play tank a lot because most teams need a tank, and so I would just be forced into a tank role to fill.
That clinic, just like clinics that I've been to that are state funded, all of those clinics are opportunities to get those people into the system. Okay? If they had never had an opportunity or never known where to go to.
Okay, nice. This is an opportunity to get people into the system.
To get into the system before, and that's why they're illegal and that's why they're undocumented. Then, well, when I go, picture me at 19 having really serious health problems, going to a medical institution not knowing if I'm qualified for anything. I just showed up at a clinic one day and I said, man, I really need some help. And they brought me into the side of the room. The entire left side of the building is dedicated to explicitly signing people up for Medicaid, getting them registered to vote, and getting them whatever kind of legal documentation they need to get that help. Now, in the case of me, I didn't have like a broken back or anything. You know, they didn't have to fix me up first and then bring me into the other side. They were able to obviously like get me signed up for Medicaid and everything like that. And I had no idea. I just wasn't educated ever on how to get signed up for those programs. We could extend that into hospital. The second thing that I wanted to address was circling back around to something that Kukajor and I were addressing in DMs earlier, which is the cost of hospitals. If we were to, for instance, have these service programs where people go into infrastructure and help build power grids and help build hospitals, that would then limit the price on how each step of building and maintaining a hospital, how expensive that is. So as long as you can keep all of the materials, the distribution of the materials, all of the machines that they use in hospitals, if you can minimize that cost as much as possible by socializing it and by having everybody kind of help out to do it, then that would make it even easier to give that healthcare to people who need it most.
Just make it cheaper.
Yes, making it cheaper from the ground up, from building the friggin' concrete that everybody's going to be on top of when they're in the hospital.
Service programs. As well to cut costs. Well, I'm not sure about these service programs because do we really want non-experts doing this kind of work? Am I vegan? No, I'm not vegan.
Like, you have to make it cheaper from the ground up. And that starts with social programs that involve getting people more into labor and industry, which honestly is an extremely honorable and fulfilling job. It often keeps people that I know anyway, it keeps them healthy because it's technically exercise. Like, I don't see why we don't have building houses as a standard thing in schools, to be honest.
Well, what do you mean?
Like,
I don't know where Johnny went with this.
Together and building it, and the teamwork that is involved in being on
totally
a
disconnected.
Sure.
is an incredible educational tool for the life experiences that you need to have to be a real person. And
it's just them circling back to earlier conversation.
Maybe 18 to 21, something like that. If we had everybody getting together and doing that and having that education, I think it would be a huge morale builder for the country, and that's something that we're lacking in right now, frankly, is morale.
Yeah, I agree.
By the way, I just put in the chat there that link. That's the U.S. code that was passed in '86, the one that required all emergency rooms to take in a patient, whether they have insurance or can pay for it or not. I just want you to notice that nowhere on there does it say citizen.
Yeah.
The hospital is required to take in any person, period. And that I'm okay with.
Who says, notice in the law, hospitals have to take in whoever no citizen mandate required. And then he implies do you disagree with the law, sir?
Honestly, there are a lot of programs that someone who's entered this country illegally.
Why am I not vegan? I tried to go vegan when I was really young, but I don't know. I like meat. I probably should go vegan.
Even though I understand why people come into this country illegally, because some people can't afford to live in Tijuana for 3 years, or live on the border for 3 years, or whatever, and so they get desperate and they come across the border. That's I get it, but I still think it's not the legal route. So
also, people need to not forget that legal immigrants pay more in taxes than they're given credit for. I think they estimate that they actually pay billions in taxes and millions in state taxes.
That's a good point. Nice, I hope you join one day. Are you vegan? That's... Nice. How do you, is it hard to find is it hard to, like, when you first started going vegan, was it hard for you to build a diet that you liked, I guess? It was hard to find a diet.
Oh, absolutely. I know tons of people, and they're all sharing the same social security card,
and they draw way less.
Which means you're adding 5, which means they're like 2 or 3 tax brackets above where they should be, because they're, you know.
Oh, that's a good point. Interesting. Yeah, they definitely have gotten a lot better in the past like 10 years. People share security number multiple ones, putting them in much tax brackets. I never thought about that, but that is an interesting. All great points, and I haven't thought about the last one. Beyond Meat Burger and the Impossible Burger, yeah, I think they're really good. You didn't have a lapse? No. Yeah, I feel like designing your diet is something that you have to do more as a vegan. Like, I don't eat any dairy because I have a dairy allergy. I don't eat any eggs because I have an egg allergy. So I'm almost vegan, but I do eat meat. So I definitely have to be careful when I'm, like eating in public, because so many things have dairy in them. It's so hard to avoid dairy, like cheese and everything in America. Yeah, honestly, it would be very easy, except for the part where I just really like meat.
They're paying, instead of making $30,000 a year, that's showing $150,000 a year, which is a higher percentage.
Are they reporting their income?
Yeah, they're actually reporting their income and sharing Social Security, because we don't have a system that checks for double Social Security numbers.
That's incredible, just the logistics that are involved in coming to this country and actually trying to do right and pay your taxes, like the things that people go through in order to do that and to live here for years and have families. It just amazes me.
Yeah, and Osiris, there's
going on in the background.
People get $900 a snap. That's a lot. But that, that's not limited to legal immigrants either. I also know a couple of fine white Americans who are gaming the system just as bad as anybody else.
Yeah, I bet they're good. I haven't tried any actually.
There's something that happens once you get into the realm of welfare that you learn the tricks. It seems to be, that you definitely see welfare in communities, right? I think pretty well proven. And so once you're in those communities, you learn all the tricks to get as much welfare as you can.
This is a weird statement. Coop. Once you're in welfare, you learn all the tricks to get all the welfare. I simply don't think this is true. Navigating welfare is extremely confusing, and those that have to do it have no idea what they're doing. I'm sure many more people need welfare and have it simply because against there.
And so, you know, can we fix that? I don't know. I do not have an answer to that one. If anybody does, please let me know. But you know, getting right back to healthcare, yeah, I definitely think, you know, if we did on you have economies of scale on doing nationalized healthcare. If we could go back to like Germany's plan, you know, Germany, even the English NHS, they're actually able to put weight on pharmaceutical companies rather than vice versa, as happens in our country, because they have all the customers. You know, when you're running the Medicaid, you have all the customers. So, or Medicare rather. So you know, then they're able to negotiate prices, and also with hospitals. So.
Yeah, I always find it funny. I live, like many of you people know, I live in West Virginia. We have more people on social assistance than I think any other state in America, and
Per capita?
I think, yeah, per capita, like, yeah, per capita, and you'd be surprised how many people here get socialism.
Receive socialism.
Can we all agree too that if there's a system there game, that people are definitely going to be gaming it? Like,
I mean,
I don't get these people who assume the best in people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, this is something I don't. I might agree with, but I'm not sure about trending. If there's a system to game, people are going to game it. So maybe, but that's not the point. The question is, yeah, maybe I will be their next guest after I do this fucking review. Do more people benefit than are harmed? Is the system worthwhile? Is gaming the system all that bad? Is your problem welfare queens? Or those in between necessity and welfare queens? Gaming the system all that bad? Is your problem welfare queens, or those in between? Is in between one word? No. Between necessity and welfare. From welfare queens, or those between necessity and welfare queens? What are even the rates or frequencies of people gaming their system? It sounds like you're suggesting a problem that really isn't much of a problem, and that I would seriously doubt you have any data behind. Would love some though.
I mean, like, why are we gonna assume the best? You know, like, we should be assuming the worst when it comes to people, shouldn't we? Like,
That's
let's be
why
honest.
the
You're
fact
not
that
most
it's so
people,
difficult to write is because people have to close those loopholes. You know, like and part of the reason why our system is shutting down from the inside out is because people have paid our politicians to not close those loopholes.
What loopholes? What loopholes? Who is paying politicians for that's because there's loopholes in the system which allow for exploitation. There's loopholes. There's such loopholes. I'm lost. lobbying for welfare queen. No, but this is what? This is ridiculous. No, but I'm a welfare queen lobbyist. Simple. Welfare queen lobbyist. Super money title. Good night. No, just talking to people in chat and reviewing debates.
Yeah, so I mean, I think there are going to be. I mean, I think you're absolutely right. Right? I mean, there's whatever policy someone's going to take advantage of. So you just factor that in. You factor in 5% bullshit when you write the plan, and then if it's still okay plan with that, then go ahead with it.
But
Yeah.
Coop is great here. Coop. Yeah. Factor in 5%. Which one's percent? Bullshit. Plans, but it's factored. We understand that there will be inefficiencies. I did spell that right.
I think it's gonna be 5% bullshit. I mean, where would you put the bullshit percentage?
I think 5% fair. I think on welfare, we're about 5% bullshit.
That's a good question. Trending. Do you think it's really 5%? True. Yep.
God, I mean, I honestly have no clue. I just 5% just seems a little low to me, because I just think there's a lot of people, especially in today's world, today's society, man. These young kids. I mean, see, I'm a valet.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, I work in a field with a lot of young kids these days, all right? And everybody, all the kids from about 19 to 22, man, the work ethic is just pure shit. Pure shit. I mean, you can't tell them how to do their job. You can't like give them any constructive criticism because it's like
Trending. Are you sure? Because all the 19 to 22 year olds I work with have shit work. Yeah, I think.
I say, we're finally seeing the product of the everyone gets a trophy here. You know what I'm saying? And not keeping score and all that, you know, PC crap or inclusion or whatever you want to call it, equality. I still think equality is a fake news term, but it's fairness. You want fairness, not necessarily equality. Come on. But yeah, I mean, these kids these days, if you don't think they're going to take advantage of some sort of system or like an UBI or economic safety net, I mean, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Perhaps we should be educating our children.
How the hell do you take part? How the hell and does one take advantage of the UBI? That's the point of a UBI, to take advantage of it.
Not just game it.
I mean, yeah, that would be great. I mean, but I mean, do you think people are really going to be educating their kids on the system?
My mother is a teacher, and I have a lot of, and I know that's biased of me to say, but I have seen, I'll tell you why I'm biased against teachers, because my mother is a terrible teacher. She's a terrible person, and she doesn't like her job, but I have met so many people through her who are so genuinely concerned. 99.999% of the teachers that I've had the pleasure of interacting with on a very, wide basis of being, introduced to the Bessie board and things like that. So many teachers care so deeply about their jobs. So many people within bureaucracies of universities, even so many people in the medical industry, they genuinely care about their jobs. And yes, there are some bad eggs who are just doing it for the money, and they show up and they're audited generally, and they don't keep jobs very long.
Oh, so you're saying that you think teachers are trying to game the system? Essentially, a lot of them are basically just doing shit jobs. That's what I'm hearing.
I'm actually saying the opposite. I'm saying that there are some people in every single industry that you can possibly imagine that are there not because they care, but because they need to earn money. And I am telling you that it is my core belief that the majority of people who go into something that is service oriented know what they're getting into, and will be weeded out if they are not actually service oriented. Because these jobs, working with the public and making sure that our systems that fundamentally keep people healthy and safe and educated, those are hard jobs.
All right, hold that thought real quick. We have 2 people added since we've done introductions. Coop, go ahead and shout yourself out.
Coop.
I like it. I like it. And then we have Kiara Husk. You gonna shout yourself out?
Yeah. Hi, my name's Kiara Husk. I do streaming on Twitch.
Nice.
Dirty socialist. Speak on.
Communist, anarcho.
Who's doing all of this?
I am an anarcho-communist. That is correct.
Yes, I know.
I'm assuming Coop. Have you met Coop before?
We actually have met. Yeah,
Assume so.
we were on
Yeah.
I'm Really Important stream once.
Yeah, we crossed there. No, you're very smart. I'm glad to have you here.
And I will say, now that we have like 7 people in here, I'm gonna have to like, if I try to talk over you, I'm just trying to direct traffic a little bit. That we don't have everyone talking over each other. So don't take offense to it. But yeah, all right, go ahead and finish your. I think you were about to say something trending.
Oh, I wasn't about to say anything.
Oh.
I'm good.
Well, no. So hey, Johnny, the only reason I said that about your point was because I thought I heard you say earlier, and I was going to ask the correct, but I wanted to hear you about that. You said that you don't support teachers. You do support teachers, is what you said.
I do in fact support teachers. I was giving an example of a teacher that I know to not enjoy their job.
Okay.
I know that I'm simply being realistic. I realize that there are people who are nurses, there are people who work in nursing homes, there are people all over this world who just don't enjoy their job.
Spiritless.
Are we required to enjoy our job though, or not?
That's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
I enjoy the
but
fucking money.
yeah.
I mean, if we're doing our job for the money, is there a problem with that? I mean, as long as you're doing a good job.
I enjoy talking shit on the internet and my money. Jobs on everything.
Yeah, I kind of fundamentally believe that you should build your life around what makes you most fulfilled, and giving people the opportunity to do that through education is very important. And so if you find yourself in a job where you're not fulfilled, if you find yourself in a job where you don't care about the populace that you're attempting to serve because it's such a hard job for you, then you should be given the opportunity to go back and get better skills for yourself.
That sounds like a pipe dream though, right? If everybody did what made them fulfilled, like,
Yeah.
what the fuck would our society look like?
It would look like a very fulfilled society, and in fact, I
Yeah,
don't
we
think
wouldn't have
that
garbage,
I don't
we
think
wouldn't
that
have
any
people
of
like
the
cleaning the
policies
toilets,
that
we
we're
wouldn't have people doing shitty
arguing about right now,
Hold on, we have 2 people talking.
I don't think that you can have policies that are improvement oriented without some form of idealism. I really like idealism is very important in small doses.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I mean, personally, I have never enjoyed any job I've ever had. The only thing I ask of my job is please keep me busy so the clock doesn't go slow, so I can get home and do what I want to do. But that's fine. But I know plenty of people who get a ton of fulfillment from their work.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
we look at it both ways. But I don't disagree. I mean, actually, we should have people who are able to go back. I mean, especially in the teaching industry, a lot of people I've seen in nursing and a lot of other places where people go out for their degree, they go get their job, and they suck at it. So they definitely if we can make some little tweaks to education, that'd be great, because sometimes you just have to sometimes you're stuck in that job because you need the money, you suck at it. That's one of the reasons I like UBI. I'm like, they're like, what about all these people who are just going to stay home and not work? I'm like, great. Let's get all the shitty, lazy people to stay home, and we'll get some people who want to get the damn job done to come to work, and we'll be in better shape. So,
And that's where capitalism comes into it. Yeah.
Sure.
Plus, the interesting thing is that most of the actual practices and actual studies with UBI, where, for example, there's a lot of places in Africa where there has being done experimentations with UBI over a period of long time. So there's a long time studies over a period of years, who have showed that most people just did the same thing they did before, and some went on to do more because they had the freedom to do more and to do other things and pursue other things. There were some people who were lazy and who did nothing, but we already have those a lot in our society already.
I mean,
Nobody wants to be the bottom.
Yeah, but why would we reward those people?
We're not paying them to do that.
We're not rewarding them. It fucking sucks to be the bottom.
No,
But
but
if you don't want to do anything, why would you reward people that do nothing?
We're not rewarding them. We're giving them.
Okay, so we've transition topics. Yeah. And trending says, why would we reward someone for doing nothing?
UBI.
Bare fucking minimum.
It's
I mean,
still-
$1,000 for doing nothing. I mean, I would take, if I'm doing nothing and you want to give me $1,000 to continue doing nothing, I mean, great, I'm willing.
You can do something else to get that $1,000.
Yeah, but you do nothing.
Yeah, I worked to get $1,000.
Trending up. I have one thing for you. In that case, one of the people in the USA who got rich and pretty much did nothing for it is your president right now.
No, it's
Okay, but I mean, yeah, sure.
No,
Whatever.
no,
We're not
no,
talking
keep
about
trying,
we're
okay?
talking about
Keep
people
going,
who are doing. See, here's a question too. Well, not
Dig.
a question, but going back to the but people who don't love what they do, or it'd be nice if you could love what you do. Well, a lot of us don't love what we do, but we can still go and be productive, great employees, even though we don't love what we do. So if you don't love what you do and then you go to work and just slack off and you suck at your job, that's a character issue, right? That's not really because your priorities, right?
Is it
If you have a priority, my priority is going to my job, getting money to support myself. So
Would depression be a character issue, for example?
Would what?
Would depression be a character issue?
Well, why is depression in here though?
This is sustaining someone who is doing is rewarding those that sustain themselves. Sustain this. zero or net negative will be rich because most of the money comes from the top.
Well, why are we
Because
talking
it can make a difference if you're quote unquote good at your job or not. So
I
would
don't
that be
think
a
he's really
character?
talking about people who can't work. I think he's talking about people who won't work. And in which
Exactly,
case, I'm
but
asking
that-
Printing, would you consider giving people the ability to have food and a place to sleep at night? Do you consider that a reward? Or
Yes.
do you
Oh,
consider that basic?
Johnny, amazing point. Would you consider giving people food and a place to sleep at night a reward? Exactly my point. Sustaining.
I mean, yeah, because
They're being met.
yeah, well, if you're giving somebody something, you're giving them a reward. Yeah, it's a reward because you're giving.
Shunjay doesn't understand. Shunjay. If you're giving someone something, then that something is a reward.
Them something. It's just like they're doing nothing for it, so they're getting rewarded in some way. You have to.
Yes, they're also
If you're doing nothing for it, but the reward. Sounds like a manipulation of the word reward. We should look up reward. Reward, a thing given in recognition of something's service. The definition of reward. A thing given in recognition of one's service, effort, or achievement. So by definition, a guy is not a word. By convention, a word, someone who does nothing, because there isn't much, if any, money after food and shelter to spend on royalties. It sustains them because everyone has the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, even for.
getting rewarded by being born in America and having inalienable rights. That
No, you're not rewarded in any other rights. You have those.
You have those, exactly. So if you
Also,
decide
in
as
places you
Americans,
don't.
Johnny, also another good point. Weren't you rewarded for nothing by being born in America? And having rights?
you decide as Americans that being able to sleep in a bed at night and having food on your table, if you decide that those are basic human rights and you start giving those to people so that they can just simply
You just like sleeping on a bed and food on the
simply live and exist, then that's not going to be a reward system.
No, it's not. It can't be a human right. What you give someone can't be a human right. A human right has to be something that's like recognized to be a part of you as human. Like,
Is education a human right?
no, it's not a human right.
No, yeah, I wouldn't say this either.
Not a human right. You could call there's certain things you could call civil.
Ooh. Declaration of Human Rights. Everyone has the right to education.
Civil rights. You can call them
Is it
civil
an
rights
American
because
right?
no, there's rights.
Okay.
They're like
You have the right to
like recognized to be a part of you as a
system.
no, it's
Right
Decide
to
as
the
Americans that being able to sleep in a bed at night and having food on your table, if you decide that those are basic human rights and you start giving those to people so that they can just simply live and exist, then that's not going to be a reward system.
no, it's not. It can't be a human right. What you give someone can't be a human right.
Brent. What you give someone can't be a human right.
Right. A human right has to be something that's like recognized to be a part of you as human.
A human right is something that is part of you as a human. This is semantics, but many would say that rights are given to you by the society in which you live. Others may say that your rights are given to you by creator. Either way, it sounds like a giving of rights.
Like
Is education a human right?
no, it's not a human right.
Good call.
Yeah, I would.
Here we go. Johnny goes back. Fire's back. Is education a human right?
Wouldn't say this either.
Not a human right. You can call there's certain things you can call civil rights. You can call them
Is it
civil
an
rights.
Plus. A human right. Here's where you are wrong. Education. This article 26 of the Declaration of Human Rights. This isn't necessarily an authority. What makes a particular right, but it's a good start. Are you worried? You're in disagreement with the Declaration of Human Rights?
American right.
No, it's there's rights there like
You have the right to an education, actually.
sure. Well, there's
But
things
who's trying to like
Um,
not give you an education?
Yeah,
Who's saying you shouldn't have an education?
Who's trying to make you homeless and then still make you go and get an education?
There you go. And who is going to not give you an education? Johnny. Who's trying to make you homeless and not and still try to get an education?
But I'm not making people be lazy though.
Article,
and not work.
Article 20.
Trending. I'm not making people be lazy and not work. Well, what you are trying to force people to work at this rate. This sounds like that mandatory military service that you were against in the beginning. Sure, your employer isn't current, but is there really much of a difference if your employer is in the private sector? Would you be against mandatory private service since you're against mandatory government service?
26 in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, everyone has the right to
Oh,
education. There you go.
wow. What is her name? Kiara Husk. Kiara Husk. Education is Article 26 in the Declaration of Human Rights.
Education is
Thank you so
factually a human right.
they're not inherently human rights. You have access. No one has the right to restrict you
They
from
are
these things,
literally
but they don't
factually a human
give
right.
them to what someone else has to give you is not inherently a human right. It could be a
Someone
civil
has
right.
to give
I feel like
you,
Brent
someone
Box
has
is
to
kind of
give you
just like
birth.
a philosophy.
Like,
Yeah,
how do you-
It matters.
No, I
It matters. That's why it's not a human right. That's why you don't.
If someone gives you a right, it's not a human right. Fuck the Declaration of Human Rights. I say what I think, and what I think is stupid.
You
want a link?
You have to work for
Okay,
free.
well,
It's certainly not a human right to
let's
get
define
$1,000
the
for doing nothing.
Wait,
I mean,
where's that
where is it
from?
my human right to get $1,000 a month for doing absolutely nothing? I mean, like,
That's not a human right.
exactly. So,
Yeah,
like,
no, it is.
Article,
I'm not
article.
Trending. Where does it say in the Declaration of Human Rights that I have a right to 1K a month? Like, come on.
have to give
25.
somebody.
Would you say there's a human right for like some sort of, you know, like?
I'm not saying
Yeah.
$1,000 is a human right because $1,000 is a monetary item. Okay?
Okay, okay.
But food and board, no matter what system you give it to people under, food and board is something that you need in order to just live.
Yeah.
Okay?
There you go. Money. I'm not saying that 1K a month is human right, but food and board before it comes in.
I don't
So
really
if you're
I
gonna
don't
say
think
that
it's a human
nothing you people. What is also a human right? I'm sorry.
Wait.
Food and everything you need to live is also a human right on Article 25 of the
Kiara coming in. Kiara. Food and everything you need to live is Article 25 of the Declaration.
Universal Declaration of Human Rights by the United Nations.
That's absolutely beautiful.
So
Yeah, that's
factually,
the United Nations, just like,
you
yeah.
were
Yo, Geek, thanks
Like,
for
who cares about the
writing.
United Nations? Like,
Appreciate
we don't care about the United Nations.
What? Who just said that? Bird But we don't care about the UN.
If you say that's not a human right, and the United Nations say it's a human right,
They're wrong.
Who do you think? Who do you,
They're
well,
wrong.
it's
What? Yeah. The UN is wrong.
you have jurisdiction over the United Nations.
Okay, so
No,
then we
yeah,
get,
I don't care about what the United Nations
Fact.
says.
United Nations, you can
Because that
fucking look
literally-
at the United Nations and say
That
what you want. It
declaration,
doesn't matter. No.
literally defines what is a human right.
I don't care about what the UN has to say. Well, then, no one should care what you have to say. Just TFU for a second and listen to others and figure out why you should care about human rights, but the UN says human rights are. Why they just might be smarter than your dumb ass.
Right or not.
No,
That's just
sure.
nitpicking
No one-
it out and
You don't like
define.
dictionaries either, do you, my friend?
No, look, if someone has to give it, if someone has to work and produce food, then that doesn't exist without their work. You don't have a right to it.
Oh, that's funny because food exists without your work. Food grows out of the ground, my friend. That is, I don't
Not enough
necessarily
for
strive
people,
to a
not
god.
for everyone.
I don't necessarily strive to a god, but if there is anything that we are allowed to have as humans, it's food.
Sure, if we live
So
in
if
a
you
fucking
don't
garden
grow
of
your, so
Eden,
if you don't
great.
grow your own food, are you not allowed to eat?
You
And
You
would
get
you
a
say
job and go buy
you
food.
have to work with other people.
By the way, just so we clear, would you say that, for example, if I say, those who do not work shall not eat?
Right.
Okay, that's literally Luther. That's literally 16th century.
Oh,
You know that, right?
so
Then the
what?
work not shall not eat.
Yeah, so what?
That's where you're standing with that.
You're standing in the
I'm fine
16th
with that. That
century.
makes perfect
You have your feet
Yeah, I
firmly
mean,
planted in the 16th century.
I don't know why you
Shit,
people are just so pro laziness. Is what
Yeah,
you're
they're so
saying.
they're like
We're
everyone
not
give me
pro, we're
everything.
not pro
Everyone just
laziness.
give me
We are not
things.
pro
Like,
laziness.
hey.
We are pro life.
So like, what
Yeah,
if,
okay, and
what if someone
life is
physically?
about, you know, hardships and like good moments, bad moments, man.
Alright, I think that's where I'm gonna call it for now. We're at 1:49. I don't know how many pages this is. Not so bad. Anyone still on the stream? Thanks for being here. Have a fun time.